Hello and welcome to Teleislas News, the most important news of the day.
In the afternoon, the official inauguration of the departmental headquarters of the Latin American Human Rights Commission was held, a space that seeks to support the community on issues of rights violations.
The Latin American Commission of Human Rights is an organization that aims to provide support and legal advice in the protection and vindication of human rights, hence the importance of this headquarters that was inaugurated on the Costa Rica Avenue.
Hoy es un día muy especial.
Today is a very special day for the Latin American Human Rights Commission because today we inaugurated our first office in the archipelago in the sector of San Andres, and it is available for all the people who want to come and who feel that their rights have been violated. They will be accompanied by our office, especially our legal office, regarding any condition of vulnerability they may have. This office will be very important in the archipelago since we have seen a lot of human rights violations.
Similarly, this office will help not only in legal advice, but also the immediate intervention to prevent the violation of the right, the monitoring of due process, and the right to defense before the courts and prosecutors, as well as in the lifting of international protection measures before the International Court of Justice.
The National Police achieved 7 arrests for different crimes during the weekend, including extortion, robbery, carrying of a firearm, torture, and narcotics. This was reported by the Deputy Commander of the Police Department, Jaime Yesir Rengifo Porras, through a press conference.
Of the 7 captures achieved by the institution, 2 were for extortion. Rengifo informed which were the reasons.
Dando como captura al señor Pedro Antonio Yates.
A capture was made by the Gaula and Sihin of the National Police, giving as capture Mr. Pedro Antonio Yates and Mr. Nigel Hawkins Bent Archibald, natives of the island of San Andres, 27 and 22 years old respectively.
A subject from the Matlina Hill sector identified as Niger Johan Espinosa was also captured after being searched in the sector and found to have a 9mm caliber pistol. According to the deputy commander, the fourth capture was identified as Jesus Jefferson Henry Livingston of 36 years old, who had an arrest warrant for the crime of aggravating theft. The fifth capture was carried out at the Gustavo Rojas Pinilla facilities of a woman from the city of Cali, who, due to her suspicious attitude, was searched and 184 grams of marijuana were found attached to her abdomen.
Se encontraba realizando un patrullaje nuestro grupo operativo.
The sixth captured Fred Dawkins Mitchell, a native of the island of San Andres. Our Special Operations Group was patrolling and requested information of this subject for a background check due to the suspicion that caused his conduct, which is required by court order and which is being required to answer for the crime of torture.
The 7th person captured was Jose Jair Blanco, a native of the island and resident of the Serranía sector, for the crime of theft.
Tratando de hurtarse un computador,
which was found inside a residence trying to steal a computer, a camera, a video camera, a briefcase, and cash worth 310,000 pesos.
Among other relevant events, 2 people died in violent acts. Evis Gabriela Joa, 25-year-old, was killed in the Backroad sector on Friday, June 25th, and Antonio Mohamed, 24 years old, was killed yesterday in the neighborhood of Barrick in the sector of the Big Pond. The competent authorities are conducting investigation to find those responsible for these acts. This will be the second week in which 2 people have lost their lives in violent incidents.
And today, a political control to the Mobility Secretariat was held, where the issues of traffic lights, documentation, and ATVs or mules were part of the topics discussed.
On the part of the deputies, what we have given him are recommendations for the improvement of mobility in the department in terms of the traffic lights, scrapping of vehicles, and I believe that the secretary was quite receptive, which is important.
Hoy estamos sacando unas mesas de trabajo.
Today we agreed on some work tables to be able to continue this political control so that it does not remain only for today, but that it can continue and we can improve the road conditions and solve the problems of documentation for the people of the archipelago.
Finally, the Secretary of Mobility, Luis Torres James, pointed out the commitments of his office after answering the 15-question questionnaire from the Departmental Duma.
We are going to hold a meeting with the traffic police to discuss the issue of auto sensors to control the accident rate, which has increased by 33% so far this year. So we will do a very conscientious work to guarantee that all the road actors of the department can move in a safe way.
The Secretary of Mobility also indicated that they will start issuing and renewing driver's licenses in addition to exercising public space control for tourist providers.
And tomorrow, Tuesday, June 29, our regional channel Teleislas will render at 7 p.m. its accountability for the year 2020. For 1 hour, the different population and interest groups will know the progress, data, and content on the management, the result of this, and the fulfillment of the mission goals of the channel of our identity. During the television program, which will be broadcast simultaneously on the channel's Facebook account, the community's concerns will also be answered.
And now we continue with all the information from the sister island of Providence and Catalina. This past weekend, a pop-up mini queen contest was held in the municipality, an event organized by individuals that brought together young and old in a type of small festival.
Providence natives showed mixed feelings concerning a curvy pageant type event held this past weekend by private individuals. The mini carnival congregated young and old in this section of Southwest Bay after having gone around the island on different types of vehicles.
I'm really proud. I feel proud with the behavior of the community. I really feel proud that plenty of people support it in a nice way. Everybody take care of themselves. And we can do things without the government. When we put that in our head, we can come together and do plenty of things.
It's a cultural thing with the partner, no war, everybody enjoy, no war, no fight, and just pass it nice, yeah man.
We celebrate the little carnival because we want to enjoy ourselves. We got 2 years now, would have been enjoying. Last year was the coronavirus, but the hurricane come and stop with it, but we'll try our best. Because one time a year, just like when Christmas comes.
On the other hand, other sectors of the community did not agree with the event since they consider that it is not time yet for any celebration.
I didn't participate in it and I didn't agree with it because that is not part of the traditional Fanfreeway Island. Morris with this what we know with the hurricane. You have people where they get wet up, you have people where they live in a carpa, and people where they pass it so hard.
I don't got nothing against the Lake Carnival when they had, but I believe it's not the occasion or the situation we're in right now. We have them kind of party. I know say the little money we then spend in the little carnival go help them with any house or whatsoever, but it's a good help they that got right there that little money fee by other things to go and they fix up their house because why I see the situation in Providence, the house them know I don't fix pay a long time.
In spite of the conflicting positions on the event, no accident was reported during the celebration.
In other news, the unified command post that took place today was led by the Municipal Secretary of Tourism, Angelique Castillo. The following is a report of the information given there.
This morning, the Unified Command Post meeting was held and it was led by the Municipal Secretary of Tourism, Angelique Castillo. As for the updated report of SARS-CoV-19 in the municipality, there have been 313 accumulated cases, of which 305 have been recovered and 4 people have died. Currently in the municipality, there is 4 active cases. Regarding the scope of the application of the Sinovac vaccine in the municipality, the field hospital reports that 3,144 persons have received the first dose of the vaccine and 2,683 the second dose. Although the frequency of the first dose jabs has decreased, in the last 20 days, 314 vaccines have been administered at the field hospital. On the other hand, it was confirmed that the people who will be in the municipality for more than 3 months can also have access to the vaccine. Finally, the National Unit for Disaster Risk Management officially announced that there will be a rent subsidy for the victims of Hurricane Iota in Old Providence and those who have had to move to other places.
And we continue with more local news. The immunization day against COVID-19 continues in the department. Tomorrow, a massive vaccination will take place in the sector of San Luis.
The departmental social state enterprise will conduct a microvaccination in different sectors of the island, starting this June 29 in the area of San Luis, where they will apply first and second doses of the Sinovac vaccine.
A micromassive because it does not resemble the same level that we had at the Teleislas. However, the idea is to give a continuation to this work to achieve immunity on the island of all those people who, for whatever reason, failed to approach the hotel at the time and were left without protection, without their vaccine. Tomorrow, we will be at the Coliseum of San Luis, and we will be from 7:30 to 4 in the afternoon. On Wednesday, we will be at the Cultural House, and on Thursday, we will be at the Cove Playhouse. And we will also be at the Natania School on Saturday.
All people over 18 can be vaccinated bringing their ID card. This massive microvaccination has the goal of applying 10,000 doses of Sinovac.
And now we continue with the cultural news of our department.
During a press conference held today, Representative Elizabeth J. Bang announced that with the approval of the law that seeks to declare the architecture of the island a national cultural heritage, it will also be possible to create a cultural route that includes a tour in which locals and visitors have the opportunity to learn details of the architecture of the island, as well as the costumes of the people who live there. In this way, it will be possible to create a purely cultural tourist attraction that generates income for inhabitants of the department. In the new stage of the project Soun the Cultural Center of the Bank of the Republic in San Andres invite to continue the sound journey to the music of the archipelago and musical memory, this time through the fourth meeting of the series of conference Soun, in which the teacher Sandra Viloria Garces, Master of Music and Director of the Foundation Cultura Unisono, will be taking about the process of adaptation and syncretism that across the music in San Andres. This conference will be held tomorrow, Tuesday, June 29 at 10 a.m. throughout the networks of the Cultural Center.